Hi guys, we are going to quickly talk about measuring length. You are going to want to have a ruler. I know you're not going to be able to see me very big, but on one side of your ruler you should have inches, and on the bottom you should have centimeters. My ruler is short, it only includes 6 inches. Most rulers should go up to a foot, which would be 12 inches. If you don't have a ruler, some things that you could do is ask your parent if you can use their cell phone. There's a free app that you can get on cell phones that's a ruler. You hold it up and you use the camera to measure things. You could also pull up a ruler on your computer and hold your piece of paper up to the computer to figure it out. So hopefully you can pause the video, go find a ruler, or get one of those resources to use. If you look at my screen I have showing you, it's showing you the anchor chart that we're doing today. It's measuring for length. So if you don't have that, pause the video now and go and get it. All right, we're going to go ahead and move on. At the top right, it says length equals the blank of an object from blank to blank. So think about that. If I want to know the length of something, that means I want to know the measurement of an object from end to end. So if I want to know the width of this cross, I would want to start here and measure it all the way over to here. Okay, so that would be from one end to the other end. Okay, also check your ruler, because when you're measuring, some rulers start at the very end of the ruler, but if you notice, like my ruler starts a little bit on the inside, so you need to pay attention to what you're using to measure. A tape measure starts at the end of the tape. So it just kind of depends what you're using to measure, so pay attention to that. Where is it starting at 0? So my ruler starts a little bit on the inside. Okay. The first unit of measurement we're going to talk about is centimeters. Okay, centimeters measures small objects. Okay, I'm going to scroll down. I have one that's already kind of filled in. It says tiny, that's okay. Okay, centimeters measure tiny objects. Okay, so here would be my centimeters. The itty bitty ones, those are millimeters. So the centimeter is the 1 mark and the 2 mark and the 3 mark. Those are centimeters. So some examples of things that we would measure using centimeters would be leaves, the width of your fingernails, bees. Those are some different things that we would measure using centimeters. I would say those things are somewhat tiny, maybe small. But we also use small for inch, so we kind of have to say tiny for centimeters to differentiate. So the next one we're going to talk about is the inch. Okay, an inch measures small objects. Some examples of things we would measure using inches would be your phone, a pencil, crayons, maybe floor tiles. We measured some different things in science, so think about some things that we use to measure in science class. And then, of course, we have the foot. There are 12 inches in 1 foot, so it would take 2 of my small rulers to make a whole foot, because my ruler is only 6 inches, so 6 plus 6 is 12, so I would need 2 of these to get your standard size ruler, which is 12 inches. So a foot measures larger objects. Usually you use feet to measure things in houses, classrooms, tables, and people. So when you go to the doctor's office, right now, because you guys are kids, they might tell you how many inches you are, but as you get older, or like if you go to a basketball game, it would say in the program, this person is this many feet and this many inches. So we mark feet with 1 dash after the number, and we mark inches with 2. So for example, I'm 5'9", so it would be 5, and then the little line, and then there would be a 9, and then there would be 2 little marks to show that that's inches. 5 feet, 9 inches. All right, I'm going to go back up to this one that's not filled in because it's a little bit easier to see to do the practice and solve. For number 1, it says Desiree drew the figure below and wanted to solve for the perimeter using millimeters. Okay, millimeters are the itty bitty ones on the centimeter side. Measure for each side round of the inch and find the perimeter. I think they messed up their wording because, yes, they want you to measure in inches, not millimeters. Okay, so on number 1, cross out millimeters. They meant to say inches, and here they should have said round to the nearest inch. Okay, and find the perimeter. So if you hold up your ruler, you should measure that and label each side. So if I hold up my ruler to the screen, it's 1 inch. And if for some reason you can't find your anchor chart, you can draw this and draw each of these for the hexagon so that your lines are 1 inch. So this side is 1 inch. If I measure this other side, it's a little bit, if I can hold my ruler up there, sorry. It's a little bit bigger than an inch, but since it says round, I'm going to go ahead and mark this side as 1 inch, this side is 1 inch, as well as this one, and this one, and this one. So if I'm figuring out the perimeter, perimeter goes around the outside, so I'm going to add up all the sides, and 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 3, plus 1 more is 4, and 1 more is 5, and 1 more is 6. So our perimeter would be 6 inches. Okay, and I don't square it because we're doing perimeter, not area. Remember, perimeter goes around the outside, area is the space inside. All right, number 2. Ethan drew the figure below and wanted to solve for the area. Using inches, measure each side, round to the nearest inch, and find the area. So we're going to measure this square. I am getting it, which I'm doing on a computer screen, so it might be a little bit different than yours. Mine is 2.5 by 2.5. Let me see what the key says because mine might not be quite proportionate. Okay, so they did it and they said 2 inches. So maybe when you measure it, you're going to get closer to 2. And to figure the area, if this is 2 and this is 2, I want to figure out the space inside. So I would draw a line here and break it into 2 pieces, and draw it here and break it into 2 pieces, and that should give you a 2 by 2 array or a 2 by 2 area model. Or we can also think of multiplication. 2 times 2 equals 4. So the area inside of the square would be 4 square inches, or 4 inches squared. Okay? Remember, when you measure, you always need to find the starting point. So if your ruler starts a little bit on the inside, you got to line that up with the end of the object. If your ruler starts at the very edge, you have to start measuring from the very edge. Okay? All right, that's all. You guys need to do some rocket math today and some Dreambox, I believe. Let me look real quick. IXL, not rocket math, and Dreambox is what I have for today. So, all right, guys, have a good one. Miss you.